Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
As a Muslim born and raised in America, I've always gone to public schools. And in those public schools, we were taught sex education. I believe that if education comes first at home, and if your parents instill good morals and values on you about sex education, and they promote, they stand against promiscuity and premarital sex, then you should be strong enough and know enough to, when you're sitting in a classroom and you're hearing this, to stand against it. And I believe that sex education is a good thing, and you can't keep sheltering your child because if they don't learn it in both places, like as in high schools.
No, there is sex education in Islam, by the way, so we're not sheltering the child. It's just the perspective that you are taking to educate them about sex. And okay. I said, ahkam al-bulugh, you need to educate them about adolescence. You need to tell them about forming a family in Islam, how respectable that is. You need to tell them about not having premarital sex and so on and so forth. So you need to put it all in a polite, decent Islamic language.
Right.
Because they cheapen the language so much that you feel that it's an animal thing. It's becoming a common thing. You need to make that difference very clear. And I'm not saying shelter your child, I'm saying educate your child. Educate them properly about the Islamic view of sex education.
Where do you stand on how the kids are taught in sex education in schools? I'm not promoting distribution of contraceptives, but sex education is good because if they don't hear it from schools, like the facts about it, then if they go off with all their friends, they're not going to understand, what's the truth.
Subhanallah. Well, they're going to learn it from their parents.
So
I'm not bashful about it, but I taught my kids everything. They need to know it from the mother. They don't need to get it from outside, but they want to know it so that when they hear the foul language that's being used and the debased language about a dehumanizing process that's coming so commonplace that we are suffering an epidemic here in this country from venereal diseases. They need to know the difference so that they can tell them, subhanallah, we have a different perspective on that respects the youngs. And it puts all the energy, the emotional energy and the effort into the family so that you have a strong family and not drain you with all of this so that you suffer teenage pregnancy, 750,000 cases of teenage pregnancy a year. I don't want to even get into this. But you want to show the scientific consequences of that. If you want to really contribute something, you want to show what Islam thinks and what are the bad consequences of secular solutions. Because they haven't gone anywhere with that except more promiscuity and foulness in this country. And I'm not against this country. I love this country. I'm an American. I love it. But I need to rescue the Muslim community from falling into this. Our kids have problems. A lot of them have problems, and they have a problem. We have seen some, I'm not saying a lot, but we have seen some cases of Muslim gays. That's horrible.
Just to make sure that you do believe that you should be educated first at home, but it's also okay to be taught in high schools.
No, I don't think it's okay to be taught in high school. I'm saying that we need to have a standing against that in high schools, the way it's being taught. And the United Nations, alhamdulillah, is giving you the option of having that in the parents' hands. So I think the parents need to take that situation in their hands and take control of their kids and not allow them to be taught from society and from bad sources, but they need to be taught from their own parents.
Have you ever sat in a high school class where they did teach you? Because they don't teach their perspective, they teach the facts. I had the Health and Family Unit in my hand. And what aggravates me is that it's not going to just stay within the boundaries of the United States, but it also went to our classrooms in our own countries. Okay.
And that's horrible for Muslim kids that are so innocent to have to face up to that. And it was discussed in Sahha and Jabeya reproductive health conferences where the girls, when they were faced with this, they put their hands, they don't want to even listen to this because of their bashfulness and they have the shyness in them. This country has lost that feeling. Most of the secular people have lost that feeling of haya. So it's okay to learn it. It's okay to teach it. You don't have to object. But we need to bring that value back to the Muslim community so that they have to have a say-so about it and say, no, we cannot sit and listen to this, and we would like to have an alternate system where also non-Muslim kids have the option of listening to the Islamic system of sex education. We need to be the leaders, not them.
Okay. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I have two questions. One is on youth, and another one is to do with the women issue. I have two children, and my children go to public school, and they're the only children, Muslim children, in the county. I have been working with the Brevard County, which is the county where my children go, with their health department, with the school, and I have studied and gone over all the manuals of the education, that you were talking about. And I did not find anything vulgar, or I did not find anything that was humiliating or in a bad sense. Because everything was stated as it is stated in a physiology book.
Could you
human
give us
anatomy.
An example? Could you give me an example? Yeah, the human anatomy, that part we know.
Right.
Okay.
But I did not like the presentation of that material to my child. That was my objection, because I would explain to my child in a very different way the same facts.
We are agreeing on this. Wallahi, this is exactly what I had in mind. Because when they bought me the folder at home of the Health and Family Unit, I saw that anatomy. But you know what also I saw? I saw a gay-lesbian conversation at the very end of the chapter. And I said, what is this? This is Health and Family Unit? This is not biology. This is not physiology. This is something else. So it's step by step. That is why I'm saying we need to take the situation in our hands and not let it go beyond that.
Right.
Some states have a mild, benign type of curriculum, just like you're saying, and others don't. It just happened that in California, we had that. So we need Muslims to screen those Health and Family Unit curricula everywhere and have an input. You see?
Right, and that is what the school district gives you. That authority or to a parent where they can say, yes, my child can attend this or no.
Exactly.
And it is also presented in a different way, boys separate and girls separate, those issues that deals with that.
Exactly.
And I did not find it very inconvenient, because there was a time in high school with the young lady was speaking. My daughter is in high school. She was supposed to go through that. And I went there and I objected to only one thing, that I would appreciate if the girls are taught this separate from the boys. They did implement that.
Alhamdulillah. That's
it
very
was not
good.
only me that did, but there were other parents
Very
of
good.
girls.
I'm going a
that
step
did that.
further, sister. I'm not differing with you. I'm going a step further. I'm saying, why don't we propose to them an Islamic sex education system where they are using this polite language and that approach? And you know something? The Christians already have a curriculum for family education, and the Muslims don't. So why don't we have one? Why don't we propose it? Why don't we penetrate the school district system and tell them, listen, we want to have in the public school an alternative, and this is it. We will all feel happy, and we won't feel scared anymore that our kids are getting together with bad peers and listening to bad ideas, and anything can happen to them.
Right, but when you talk about homosexuality and you say that it's bad that it is discussed, it's discussed and it is shown on television, and a lot of children watch too much television.
No, ya ukhti, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that the secular family. No.
Days.
Wait a minute, sister. It is not just showing homosexuality on TV. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are giving the children books such as Heather Have Two Mothers and My Daddy's Roommate, and they're being taught when they are little kids in elementary school that it's okay to have two parents. You are being educated from day one about these issues, and I'm saying take the situation in your hand before it's too late. Okay. Not that it's on TV. Subhanallah, we see all kinds of things on TV, and you can guide your children. But it's challenging you, and it is scaring you.
Right, but that is what I am saying, like you can't say it is wrong, or you should shield your child from it.
So Qawm Lut is not
I'm
wrong?
not talking
Qawm
about.
Lut is not wrong.
No, you hear me out, please. What I am trying to tell you is that those shows, those television programs should be first taken away from the TV and then go to the schools, because this was implemented. This program that is implemented now in elementary schools is done from here in Florida. The person
Alhamdulillah,
is
let's do
from
something
Florida.
about it. I know that the Christian Coalition went to the TV stations and told them you should reduce the amount of gay propaganda on TV. I know that for sure.
But
But the Muslims didn't do anything to show the Muslim voice.
Right. And the parents need to go and stop that. And the parents have to be aware. Instead of being told it is wrong and that, you could say, go to the school, go find out if this program is being shown to your child. If it is being shown to your child, stop it. Because that is how we are going to bring change. Not by saying it is wrong, your schools are showing this to our children. I'm sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you totally.
Because
it's
if
just
you
that I
tell
would
them
like to
it
take
is wrong, you are inculcating fear in parents.
What is
that,
wrong?
No, if you say your school is teaching something that is wrong and you cannot do
we're not
anything.
saying that. We are saying we need to give them an alternative and propose an Islamic sex education curriculum. I'm emphasizing that with 3 red lines underneath. I'm not saying take it out. I'm saying parents have the option of handling it themselves, so they can also go a step further and seize that opportunity and propose the Islamic sex education curriculum.
Is Islamic schools.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Mm-hmm. And if we segregate our children, how will we bring out change in the society?
For a while, you need to give them the good basis and the strength at the very beginning. Then they will be in society in all kinds of ways to socialize. They will be in the university. But you need to have a strong base first, so that the child, when they face a storm, they won't get wrecked by it. And I'm all for mingling with the non-Muslims and teaching them our values. But you need also not to lose the Islamic identity in the process. So you need to guarantee the strength before dissolving in the society.
Right, but there are a lot of youth here, and I think they are very good Muslims, and they are holding on to their identity too.
Very good.
They go to public school, so
They
I do
managed to
say
make
I
it.
all agree with you all. You're good Muslims.
Alhamdulillah.